Hello guys, I am Erbihosh from Criticart. In this tutorial we are going to build this page. It's a login form which contains some information and the form with two files and a login bottom. We are going to create this good looking form, and we are going of course to learn so much just from this tutorial. Alright, let's jump to the good stuffs. Let's see what we have here. We have an index.html, a style.css, which will contain our CSS properties, a color.txt which contains some values and some colors that I tried earlier. It works for me. You can adjust just for your case, of course. Try any color you want, that's not a problem. And an image for my background. Make sure that it's big enough for your body to cover it. Alright, let's start building our page here. First thing, I will create my basic template just by using this shortcut. I am using Image like a plugin that allows me to create or to do these stuffs just when pressing my tabulation. Alright, for the title of this page I will give it my print Criticart. So it's a very basic one, and don't forget to link to your file, to your CSS file, style.css. Okay, for our markup we will have a box container which will contain our left one and the right one. For the right one I will give it a class. I define a class for example text container, which will contain our text. And for the right one I will give it a class form container. Okay, for the text it will contain a title H2 for example, and some text here, some dummy text. What is Erbihosh? Who is me, of course. And some paragraph here. I can use Emmet using Lorem. I will give it 15 words. Okay, as you see here, it's not wrapping. I will set it to wrap text. Toggle wrap, turn it to true, and duplicate this paragraph. Okay, here is my two paragraph in my text container, and what is it will contain, of course, this bottom read more, this button read more. I will give it an anchor link, read more. That's it for our left container. Let's move to the right one, which will contain this header here, this heading here, yes, h2 tag, and these two files, input files, and of course our submit button. A link here for if you forget your password. First one, h2, which will contain a text signing, a form, two input files, input we type email, name it's not necessary to give it a name, which I will not make this page dynamic. It's just a static page with HTML and CSS. Of course you can use it if you want, like your login page for your website or your landing page or anything you want. It's free for you. And another input of type password. You know password here or what? Password, yes. No. Okay, password. Require it to define some basic validations using this JavaScript attributes, and I will give it, of course, a placeholder to make sure to enter the right value in the right file. Here also placeholder email address. Okay, that's it for now. And another button, input of type it's not input type submit. There is one, a value of login. Okay, that's it. What else? We need this anchor tag here after the form tag. Forgot password. Alright, let's see what we have here and open this file in our browser. Okay, as you see here, nothing special, nothing styled. It's a very basic text in our page. Let's move to the funny stuffs and style this HTML tags here. Let's open our CSS file. First, I'm going to style our body tag. So give it a margin of 0 and a margin of 0. Does not work this in this file. I'm trying to use shortcut, but I see that it's not working. I'm not sure why. And margin 0, and let's give it some background image. For my image, I have the image in my root. It's called background.jpg. Background.jpg. Of course, no repeat. I'm not want to repeat this image all over my page. No repeat. And let's make it center in the position. Of course, for the background size, I will make it cover all my page. For the width, always 100%, and for the height, I will give it the height of my screen, of my viewport, 100 VH. See what we have here. The image doesn't show. Background, and R is missing here. Let's move these values here. Okay, this is the problem. I will make it on each property alone. Background repeat. No repeat. Background position. Center. Okay, and that's it. For the font family, I'm going to use a Arial font, which I really like. And for the font size, I will make it 16 pixel. That's it. So now let's move to the box container and style it a little bit. I will give it a width first. I will give it a width of 700 pixels and the height of 3 350 pixel. Okay, and the background color of white. That's it. And let's make it first position of absolute. For top, let's make it 50% and left of 50%. That's it. Let's see what we have here. Alright, as you see here, it's not perfectly centered, so let's center it a little bit, or let's make it perfectly centered using the transform property. We translate from x and y 100 minus 100% minus 50%, not 100. What I'm saying there, just 50%. Alright, here is it. It's now almost centered perfectly. Let's move this background and give it some nice background like we have here. Let's see what we have in our colors that I tried earlier. Box container, I will give it this color, which an RGBA background color, RGBA, because I want some opacity on it. As you see, it's a little bit transparent, so that's what I want right now. Alright, that's it for our box container. Let's style our left one, which is our text container. Our text container, yeah. For text container, why not give it a white? Or because I want to give for both text and form a white of 50%, let's select them both for container, a white of 50% and the float of left. Alright, so let's give for this one a background color so that I can see it. Let's make it white. Here is it. On the height of, I will give it the same height as my box container, which is 350 pixel. And that's it for my left one. And for the right one, font container, I will just give it not, or you know what, I don't want to give this one this background color of white. I will give it to the right one, form container, this one, copy, paste here. Oh, it doesn't show our background here. So to fix this problem, we need to use our box sizing here, our box sizing property, and border box as a value. Okay, it doesn't show anything because I didn't give it any white anymore. Not yet. So the white that I want to give to this form container, I will add to that one 30 pixels. So 350 pixels plus 30 pixels equals 380 pixels. Alright, so there is some problem here, so we cannot see our, let's fix some problems of floating using the pseudo elements here. After content, and I display it as a block, and of course clear our floats from both sides. Alright, it doesn't show, not yet. Why? form container because I didn't give the class here. And floating to the left. Yes, floating to the left. Border box. Oh, sorry guys, I guess I make some mistakes here. I didn't select the correct class. So let's see what we have here. Okay, that's it. So as you see, I want this box, this div, to get it top a little bit. So I'm going to give it first for this two boxes, text and form, left and right, a position of relative. And then for this one, I will make it on top from minus 15 pixel, the half of the height that I add to this one. So I add 30 pixel, half of 30 pixel is 15 pixel. So it's now a little bit top. It's very perfectly centered, as you see. I like this one. I like this actually. So let's give it some box shadow for the form container. Here is some values that I tried earlier. You can use it, you can play around these values and make your own. And after that, I will give it a box shadow. That's it. As you see, here is some shadow here. Let's make it a little bit good looking. And after that, I am going to style these elements inside this div. First thing, I will give it some padding of 30 pixel. That's it. And let's select our H2 heading. Let's give it some, let's make it center, text align center. Why it doesn't center? For H1, it's an H1. Let's make it H2. See what we have. Okay, it centers here. Let's change the color of this heading. Color of, for example, this one here. So it's a dark one, little gray, but it's dark. And a font size, not a font, font size of about 3 m, for example. Let's make it for 5. Okay, that's it, great. Let's select now our inputs. Let's give them some width, or of course I will display it as a block element. Now I will give it a width of 100%. And some padding of 0.5 from top on the left, from top on the bottom, and 1 or 0.8 from left and the right. Okay, I'm going to increase this one a little bit on 6, for example 1. That's it. Let's give it some box sizing to fix the problem of the padding, the margin of border box because of value here. Okay, as you see, I can now, it's very contained in our box, and our padding is working as it should work. As you know, I need some margins between those elements. I'll give it some margin bottom of 1 m. I will try this value and see what's going on here. As you see, I need some padding from top and bottom. Now it works. Outline, I don't need this outline. Let's okay, it's good. And if font size of 1.3 m. Oh, it's huge. It's very huge. I don't need this one. Just 8. What about 8? Okay, great. It's working very nicely. We need some border of 2 pixels, solid and CC. Light green. Also, I need some border box, some border radius, sorry guys, of 1.5 m. Great, I like it. This is a good one. And let's change the hover state for this inputs. I want to change the border when I hover on each input, so I will give the border color a color white, this green one here. As you see, it works. I like it, but I want it to be transition, to be some animation there. So I will make this property. I will make a transition on this property of ease in out for 200 milliseconds. And that's it. Great. And some color of the same color here. I will give it the same color as this one. Okay, this is not great. This is not a good color. I can see it very easily. What about this blue one? It's nice. Great. I like it. I really like it. And let's move to this button here. And also I will make the same thing as for the focus. And after that, let's move to the bottom, to this button, and style it a little bit. And let's select the type of submit. I'll give it some font size of 1 or 0.5 m. Some font width, bold. And some, let's decrease a little bit this padding here. I will decrease this padding. Let's make it 6 from top and bottom. That's that. Great. Let's change the hover state for this button. When I hover on this button, I will make it change. I will make the background color change. And I like, see what we have here. Okay, when I hover, I want this blue color to be appeared on the background. This blue color to be appeared in the background. Not when I hover, but this is actually the main background for this button. But when I hover, I will read the green color to be appeared here. So as you see, oh, it's okay, because I didn't specify a color. I will give it yes, that's it. Actually, let's change the border color here. And give it the same as the background. And here it will be changed for to green one. I want some transition also on the background. The background property here also easing out, and for the 200 millisecond. Actually, it looks very nice. Let's change the cursor to make the user feels like a clickable button. That's actually, I like this design here. It's very simple and very nice. Finally, for this right one, I am going to move to this anchor link and style it a little bit. Let's select this link and give it some color of, for example, 444. Let's display it as inline block and text color, text line. I will make it center. Let's see what we have here. It doesn't center because I need the width of 100. Alright, let's move this underline. Text decoration, none. Okay, and let's give it some margin top of 1.9 m. That's it. I like this I like it very nice. Let's make it 2 m. That's it. Great. It's okay for the size. Let's let it 16 pixel and move to the left one. For the left one, I'm going to select the text container. Give it some padding of 40 pixel. That's it. Let's give all the whole text here a color of white so that we can see it easily, of course. Let's select our H2 tag. I'm going to make the font size of 1.8 m. It's very big, a little bit. Okay, and the text transform of 1 pixel. What about 2 pixels? Not text transform, but letter spacing. What I'm doing now? Oh, it's very weird. Letter spacing 1 pixel to make some space between the letters here. Let's select our paragraphs. A font size of 1.1 or maybe just 0.9 m. Oh, it's not 1.1 m. Let's make it 1 m, just 16 pixels, and some opacity of 0.9. Make it a little bit light, or opacity, to make a little opacity on the text. Actually, some letter spacing here. What about 1 pixel? Alright, so that I can increase to the 0.9. That's it. I like it actually. It's very nice, because I don't want to focus on this text and rather than focus on this area here. The user automatically will be focusing on this form because he will be signing, and if he doesn't sign, he will read this. If he doesn't not have an account on the website, actually maybe he will read these paragraphs here. Let's move to our read button here and style it a little bit, and let's select this A tag. Let's display it as a block or just inline block, because I don't want to make it full width. Inline block, some padding of 0.5 m, 0.9 m, some font size of 1.2 m. And some color of white, and some background of the green one. I will give it the green one, this green one here. Let's see what we have. Actually, maybe I will decrease a little bit the size, and 1.3 here and 8 here, to make the bottom a little bit bigger. Text decoration of none, to remove that words underline, and some border radius of 2 m or 1.5 m. Maybe I need some font size here, and increase this padding and increase this padding. Oh, it's very big button. Actually, let's let it like this and give it some letter spacing of 1 pixel, of course. That's it. Okay. Actually, it's very good. It's very nice. Very nice one here. I like it. Alright guys, this is our login page designed, and I hope you like it. I hope you learned something from these rules and these properties that we are seeing together in this tutorial. So it's a very basic one, I know that, but as you know, in CSS all the time we forget about rules, we forget about techniques, we forget about the good stuff that makes our websites looks cool. Alright guys, I hope you like it, I enjoyed. See you later in the next tutorial. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like it, of course. So goodbye.
Invincible.